Now I'm not showing you close-ups of the titanium vegetable peelers because, you know, there's not really much you can see. Like the scratches are really kind of subtle. You've got to get them in the right kind of light with the roof and with the lights in the roof and the daylight. Yesterday we did a trial late last night, and it kind of worked. We're still getting little scratches and trying to figure out how they're occurring, because, you know, you put something in the barrel in there and it goes around at 175 RPM, so that's like roughly like three cycles like that per second, and you know, that's pretty damn fast. And so you're trying to figure out how's the media moving, you know, what's happening to the cheese slicers or the vegetable peelers in there. Like, are they getting stuck? How is one hitting into the other? So we're still getting some scratches, but it's a bit of an improvement, but kind of not. We're doing more testing. What we're doing now is, you know, we did have these kind of gasket things on the end, and we're thinking, oh, they're sticking to the end of this. So we've changed them so that they've just got a big hole in the middle. So it's just plastic on the end. We're gonna try that. I'm just gonna head up to the camera shop right now while we run that, because we've got a new little camera for me to use, so I can hopefully get like some better shots, slow motion shots and things like that. The test we've been doing is with the bigger barrel. What I thought is, I would try this. So that is making the barrel not smaller in diameter, same diameter, but shorter. Therefore, when I put that in, just now it can go sort of at that much of an angle, but if I make it shorter, then it can only go that much, and they're less likely to scratch each other when they're in the barrel. Will it work? Probably not. Gotta try it though. I've just stopped over at the new workshop. I always do that, I don't know why. I mean, you can see it. You know that feeling when like something goes wrong and then something else goes wrong and something else goes wrong, like nothing goes right in a row. It feels like one of those times, like, as you know, we're wrestling with the titanium peelers, you know, trying to get enough done in one tumble that it doesn't take half a year to do, or, you know, a good number of weeks, just trying to speed up the process. In the background, there's a bunch of other stuff not kind of going right as well. One of them, I don't want to complain, I'm just saying, like, I just thought I'd tell you what I'm doing here. I'm having some titanium round bar dropped off today. It's not here yet, so I've got to wait a little while. It should be here down from Auckland, down to here in Tauranga. And the reason I had to get sent up there is I bought it, and for some reason, I don't know, whatever, it's not been heat treated. So we mill out the part on the lathe, and it's round. We take it out of the lathe, and it goes whoop, not that much. It's just like 0.1 or 0.01 of a millimeter. It just goes off round. It goes into a slight oval, because, you know, you mill out the whole center of it and the outside, and you're left with a sort of shell, like a container, kind of like a pot, and it just sort of, the stresses in the metal sort of cause it to sort of warp into a different shape. So you know, so the titanium I'm buying, I'm now having to get sent away to get heat treated all the time. So, you know, like, I can't even buy titanium now without issues happening with it, you know. And that's not to mention all the titanium sheet that was meant to be sanded when I got it, and it's not, and we're having to spend anywhere between sort of 20 and 40 minutes sanding by hand with a sort of hand grinder to make it good enough to cut the various titanium peelers and my own products and things like that. So as you can tell, it's fine, it's all good, like, it's just the way it is. But sometimes you're like, what's the point? You know, like, is anything ever gonna go right? But, you know, like, it's happened enough, this kind of thing, that I know that most of the time, 80% of the time, one or two things go right, one or two things go wrong. One or two things go right, one or two things go wrong. And then sometimes things go right, and you just have a great stream of, like, awesome things, you know, and I come to appreciate that. And then sometimes, like right now, things just go wrong, right, wrong, like, they just, like, it's funny. It's not stressful. I don't feel stressed, just probably a level of frustration, because, you know, like it's the time things take. See, here's the thing, it's a double whammy. Not only is it taking a long time, you know, and a lot of money to test getting these, say titanium peelers, for example, and, you know, tumbled, and, you know, the round bar heat treated, the flat sheet sanded, all that. Not only is that a cost, but it's all that stops you sort of moving on, developing and selling new products, or improving current products and things. And so it's a double whammy. Not only is it costing you money, it's costing you the potential of more money coming in, which can, you know, help pay off that machine, you know. Yeah, this turned out into a bit of a rant, but as always, it's a rant to myself. I'm just trying to take stock of where I am. It's just one of those periods you go through. Oh, have a look at these. Check out these bad boys. Never showed you these. So we ordered these recently. These are cable covers. So what they do is, if you have a look over here, this is a bit of wood we've had, kind of protecting the cable for a little while, but, you know, temporary. So we now put in, this is just 2 of them as a test, we now put in these really heavy duty. They weren't cheap. I mean, I think the whole lot cost them like $600, but it does mean we got like these things for life. This rubber can go all the way across, because running these cables any other way is a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, that went right, so bonus. What I thought I would do while I am waiting for this courier to arrive with the titanium. There's been quite a few questions recently. I've not really taken the time to answer them because I've been so busy, and so I thought I would do that just now. Hi there, I got some bad news. I found another person on Amazon and eBay copying your design for the spinner. Please do something about this, bro, because I would hate to see anyone else succeed on this, because we can all clearly see the effort you're putting into it. Thanks for pointing it out. This is with regard to the sort of polished fidget spinner I've made. If you look at my YouTube videos and you type in the ultimate fidget spinner, you'll see that one. Because the video did so well, it got, you know, well over 1 million views in just a few weeks. People thought, well, it must be the ultimate fidget spinner, and so we'll copy it. And there's like, I don't know, maybe not dozens, but there's certainly half a dozen at least copies of it on various websites. I'm not worried about it in the slightest. The cheap Chinese version with Chinese bearings, not very good finish and all that, you can see from the photos, it's cheap, it's $20 or $30 or whatever. It doesn't even compare to what I'll be making. The type of customer that buys that is not likely to be the same customer who will be buying my product, which will, when it eventually goes on sale, will most likely be in the $150 US range. Do you think that your channel will get famous and eventually make you money on YouTube? I mean, there is a little bit of money coming in through advertising, but it's not big. It's mainly to sort of promote my business, and it's kind of changed to the point where, you know, I kind of enjoy doing it. Yes, it's still work to record every day and edit every day, but that's not really the goal. The goal is to help further my business, but I've kind of found it quite an interesting experience, sort of sharing what I do with you. You know, and I get a lot back. I like answering these questions. I get a lot of helpful hints and, you know, advice and stuff through the YouTube channel, so that, you know, you talking to me, mostly through the comments and private messages and emails. And so yeah, it's an interesting experience. It's kind of morphing from what I initially had planned it to be. So we won't be seeing a spinner anytime soon. I've been saying 2 or 3 weeks for the last 2 or 3 months, and it still is 2 or 3 weeks. It's just work's gone in the way, you know, various things, you know, I'm not making excuses, it's just what it is. You know, I planned to do it 2 or 3 weeks, and this would come up and this would come up, and right now I can't see anything too much coming up, but going by what's happened in the last 2 or 3 months, something will most likely come up. Remember, it's not just me. I'm using my machinist's time. He's delivering his own projects. I'm helping him deliver projects, you know, various titanium products. So yeah, it should be soon. I'm not given a firm date, unfortunately. Can you make glass breaker pens? They are very famous and titanium ones will sell out quickly. You should try it. I'm assuming you mean like what they call tactical pens, where there's like a you know, either the tip of it or the end of it you can break glass with. Probably not. It doesn't really fit in with what I do. You know, I do sort of more sleek, minimalist products. I mean, you never know, but in the immediate sort of future, most certainly I won't. Magnus, you gotta subcontract, dude. You need on-demand scaling, flexible capacity. I think that's with regard to sort of the videos I've been doing where I've really been struggling for sort of time and being able to do the surface finishing on, you know, loads of products rather than just sticking to small numbers. That's a tough one. You know, even keeping the quality in-house is a tough job to do, never mind keeping the quality outside. So certainly in New Zealand, there's no one that can do, say, surface finishing, the thing I'm struggling with just now. There's nobody in New Zealand that can do that. And you know, I probably know more than most people or anyone about tumbling, certainly tumbling titanium and getting a surface finish on it than anyone in New Zealand. There's not really that many machines. The machines that are out there are, you know, a little company doing medical components, a little company doing dentist components, a little company doing aircraft components. It's that kind of thing. Not sure if that's a great answer, but that's my answer. Can you elaborate on your decision to move to New Zealand? Covered this a few times. I had a son with a girl who was from New Zealand, that was in Scotland. She moved back here, we kept in contact, we're not together, we're on very good terms, I got on with her family, and so I'm here to be part of my son's life, which is going pretty well. I'm sure this has been asked before, but why does the liquid used for tumbling need to be so foamy? I saw it in another video that sometimes dish soap was used, but I've no idea why. You need, the dirt and granules come off the media. Metal wears away from the titanium or whatever metal you put in, and so that dirt needs to be suspended in the water, otherwise it's just going to be going around what you're trying to tumble in. It'll be darker. So you put a lot of soap in to suspend the dirt in the water, but also I think, from what I understand, if you don't put soap or that type of thing, there's particularly specialized compounds you can get, it can have an effect on the media and give it like a coating, like a slimy coating. I've never experienced that because I've not tried it without soap, but from what I understand, that's what it does. So it's essentially the soap or specialized soap foaming up in the sort of high intensity of the tumbling process, whichever tumbler I use. And I think that will do for questions today. Just contacted the courier guy to see how far away he was, and he's not going to make it here today, and so a wasted trip over. At least I got some thinking done in the drive over here, and most likely on the drive back. Back at the old workshop, into the testing ground of testing. Things are getting desperate because time is running out. Like, I was going to show you something, I can't find it now. Oh, here it is. So this is the next test, and to be honest, it's getting, could be the final test, I don't know. What I thought I would do, and I am 99% sure this is not going to work, but now you'll notice these are actually shiny already. They're shiny, but we used a different process, they're covered in scratches. So we're just redoing them again, but so just keeping them separated by cable ties. They will hit into each other, I think, in little ways, just like that in the tumbler, but it's worth a shot. It's a sort of low risk, potentially high reward thing, pretty much like everything we've been doing. Pretty sure it's not going to work, but gotta try it anyway, it's getting late. What do they call it? A Hail Mary. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have to call it a day at that. I will of course leave you with a quote. It is by Nelson Mandela, and he said, "It always seems impossible until it is done."